What are we going to learn about you when you take us behind the curtain here?
I think that you're going to learn that there were a lot of no's. There were a lot of doubts, not only from people doubting me, but probably from me doubting myself.
Hmm.
And that the only reason I am where I am because I had people who were supportive, who believed in me, who pushed me, who challenged me to continue to go, even when I didn't think I could go any further or thought I wanted to go any further. So I've just been, I'm a product of all the important friendships, relationships, great parents, but there's been a lot of ups and downs along the way that I think people have not thought about because, as you said, you see the end product and you think, oh, that's been great. He's had it
Hmm.
easy. It's been a long road, and I think that everyone thinks they had this charmed life, but yeah, I went to HBCU. I'm a Texas Southern University guy, and I'm so proud of that. And I think more people need to know that, and I just think that my life is not exactly what people may think it is, even though now it turned out to actually be pretty good.
It's just Mike, man. I appreciate you being on the show. You're one of the best people I know, man. I'm so happy for you. So proud of all that you're doing.
I
And it's nice,
appreciate it.
and
Thank
it's nice to be interviewing you for a change instead of being interviewed by you on GMA. With that being said, let me ask you this question. Why now? Because you've been around for quite a long time. You've had an illustrious career, 141 and a half sacks, sixth all-time in NFL history right now as it stands. You had an illustrious career. You've been in the public eye for a while. Why now in terms of doing this?
Because I think it's beyond football now, and the perfect title, more than an athlete. Last year was LeBron James. This year, Spring Hill came to me and my production company, Smack, and we talked about, doing it with me. And I was honored by that, to have these guys think that I was worthy of it. But I think because now athletes understand it goes well beyond the playing field. There's a life after sports. And hopefully I epitomize that. And I'm giving guys a blueprint or the confidence to know that you just don't have to be known as an athlete. You're more than that, not just to be on TV, but my buddy Justin Tuck, he's a big wig at Goldman Sachs. OCU and yours is doing well. A lot of teammates and a lot of friends who do so many different things outside of sports that I just think it's important, guys, to understand that you don't have to be boxed into one lane. And for me, the timing was right. I've been out of the game of football as a player for 14 years, which just blows my mind even think it's been that long. But I want people to have a glimpse to know that there is life after the game.
As great as LeBron is, obviously, because he's playing all the time, we got to be critical of him from time to time. Jump shot, free throws, and all of this other stuff. But the man is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
Yeah.
But I bring him up only to ask this question because you brought up Spring Hill. And obviously, that's a production arm run by him, run by Maverick Carter, and those guys who are doing a phenomenal job. If it were someone else who had come to you to do this, instead of them, would you have done this?
I don't know. That's a good question because nobody else came to me, Stephen A. Smith. So
Opportunity knocked.
Yeah, opportunity knocks, but I think it's the respect that I have for them, and I know what this series means, not only to them but in the landscape of athletes and sports, and how important it is to I guess to the culture out there. I'm honored that they came to me, and if it were someone else, would I have done it? I think I probably would have definitely considered, as long as I felt like it was something in the vein of giving hope and creating the right narrative that I hope that this leaves.
At this particular moment in time, just being more than an athlete, that's clearly a message they want to send. It's clearly a message that you want to send. How important is it to disseminate that kind of message in this day and time with all that we've endured? COVID, obviously the social justice issues that percolated throughout this nation over the last year or so. When you take all of those things into consideration, does that make it even more important that we address how athletes are more than just athletes in this day and age?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing you want to understand, athletes are human beings. I've been watching so many different things about mental health and all these things, and especially with the U.S. Open now and a lot of the tennis players and the things that are written said to them when they don't win the match. And the same things are said to athletes and basketball players and football players during the game. Like, fans act as if we paid the ticket, or you're on social media, we can say whatever we want. We kind of own a piece of you. And they don't see you as a person. So I think it's important for people to understand, especially in this day and time, that we are people, that we do have feelings, we do have emotions, we do have doubts, we do have fears, we do have things that we enjoy and excite us, and motivations in our life that they may not realize. But we're very similar, except for we had the gift of sports, which put us in a position to do other things. And I think everyone has a certain gift, and it's a matter of you just tapping into it. And for me, I tapped into the sports gift, but I didn't think that football was the end all be all of my life. It was a part of my life. And so to me, it's very important to show that in life you have diversity, you have skills, tap into them. Don't be afraid to fail. And the bigger failure is not trying, to me. So I'm willing to fail and throw myself out there and take what comes, as long as I do my best.
And that's why I can't wait to see this series on ESPN Plus, because that vulnerability helps so many of us, civilians like myself, in getting strength from how you've overcome your adversity. Michael, you didn't think you were going to be on the show, though, and we're not going to talk about Big Blue, okay, sir? Because I've got some serious concerns for my New York Football Giants. Can you call Gettleman, and can you put together an O-line? What are your expectations for Danny Dimes? We got Saquon back. We need a guy like you on the defensive side of the ball, though.
I tell you what, I love Danny Dimes. I really hope he does well. I haven't had really a chance to kind of bond with these younger teams since I've left. But with him, I've taken him. I played golf with him a few times. And he is a great guy. He's very athletic, big, can do everything that you want your star quarterback to do. But he's going to need some help up front. And that's been the biggest problem with that offensive line. And I know that since we've actually added some guys, but it's tough to me when you add guys who were like later, like the guys that other teams really didn't want on their roster, to think that they're going to come and be the solution. So if you don't get your offensive line right, it's going to be hard to have the success that I think that we're expecting. I hope they gel. Hope Saquon is back from that knee injury, which is going to be tough the first year that he's back from that. And I hope Galladay really adds to the mix and just gives him so many weapons that maybe he can get the ball out of his hands before the defensive line gets there. Yeah. Who knows?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.